In the early morning hours, when New York's hustle and bustle hasn't yet begun, I start my day. I switch on the coffee maker and pour myself a cup in the kitchen, where the rich aroma fills the air. This quiet moment is my only time to myself. After changing into my jogging clothes and lacing up my sneakers, the crisp outdoor air instantly awakens my senses. I'm Erin, 32 years old, working as an account director at a major advertising agency and raising my daughter as a single mother. Each day brings both challenges and satisfaction, though I constantly feel the weight of responsibility on my shoulders. 8 years ago, I fell in love with Alexander, who was my colleague at the time. At a company party, I was drawn to his smile and his passion for the advertising industry. That night, champagne glass in hand, we spent hours together, laughing at his jokes and sharing our dreams for the future. "I'm lucky to work with such a passionate woman like you," he said, looking at me with genuine sincerity. As we continued dating, our attraction deepened. We spent weekends at art museums and concerts, finding refuge from work-related stress. His humor and warmth gradually opened my heart. Then one day, during a picnic in Central Park, Alexander presented me with a ring and proposed. "Erin, will you share your life with me?" His voice trembled slightly, but my answer was clear: of course, I'd love to. Our wedding was intimate, with only close friends and family in attendance. As we exchanged vows, tears welled up in Alexander's eyes. "With you, I feel like we can overcome any challenge," he said, and I felt deep love and trust in his words. However, after our daughter Lucy was born, my career ambitions grew stronger, which began to displease Alexander. "You're always focused on work. You never think about our family," he would say, his words constricting my heart. Moreover, his mother, Susan, strongly urged me to become a full-time housewife. "Children need their mother. Work should come second," she insisted, which added tremendous pressure. Our marriage deteriorated, and by the time Lucy turned 2, I finally decided to divorce. Life as a single mother was challenging, with each day feeling like a battle, but Lucy's smile was my saving grace. Now 4 years old, Lucy is a curious and adorable daughter whose presence sustains me. Our weekend morning ritual involves making pancakes together. "Mommy, let's add chocolate chips today," Lucy suggests enthusiastically. Watching her tiny hands stir the bowl brings an involuntary smile to my face. While balancing work and childcare is demanding, the time spent with Lucy is my source of energy. However, one day, my peaceful life took an unexpected turn I never could have anticipated. Recently, I'd been struggling with unusual drowsiness and lack of concentration at work. Initially, I attributed it to mere fatigue and stress. But the symptoms progressively worsened. There were times during meetings when I could barely keep my eyes open, and days when I felt completely drained of energy. One morning, my colleague Sarah approached me with concern. "Erin, are you all right? You've seemed really tired lately." "Just tired. Probably because work's been busy," I replied with a forced smile, though deep down, I knew something wasn't right. My condition showed no signs of improvement. I began experiencing dizziness, nausea, and memory problems. Even my boss Mike pointed out that my work performance had declined. "Aaron, it's unusual for you to make so many mistakes. If something's wrong, please tell me." "I'm sorry, Mike. I think I'm just feeling under the weather. I'm sure I'll get better soon." I made excuses to get through the moment, but my confidence was steadily eroding. When I returned home, Lucy was playing in the living room. "Welcome home, Mommy." Her cheerful voice was my only comfort. While finding solace in her smile, I continued pondering the reason for my persistent ill health. One evening, as I was preparing dinner, Lucy came into the kitchen. "Mommy, can I help?" "Of course, Lucy." I asked her to wash the vegetables. While I started cooking the steak, I noticed from the corner of my eye that she was holding a small bottle. "Lucy, what's that?" I asked. "This? Daddy gave it to me. He said it's an energy drink to make Mommy feel better," Lucy replied innocently. "Energy drink?" Though puzzled, I told Lucy to put it away. "Thank you, but I don't need it right now." That night, lying in bed, I couldn't stop thinking about that small bottle. Why had Alexander given such a thing to Lucy? Could it be connected to my health issues? My suspicions only grew stronger. The next day, I deliberately chose to eat out and avoided consuming anything at home. Surprisingly, after a few days, my symptoms of drowsiness and dizziness began to subside. I was convinced this wasn't a coincidence. One evening, I caught Lucy trying to mix a light blue liquid from a small bottle into my dinner. "Lucy, what are you doing?" I asked, maintaining my composure. "Daddy said this would make Mommy feel better. He said it's a secret game and not to let Mommy know." Lucy explained innocently. "Daddy said that?" I felt anger rising inside me but kept my voice calm. "Yes, that's what Daddy said," Lucy answered with a smile. That night, after Lucy went to bed, I returned to the kitchen and retrieved the small bottle she had been holding. My heart was pounding. To identify the contents of this liquid, I took the bottle to a doctor the next day. "Could you analyze this liquid? I need to know what's in it." I explained the situation to the doctor while trying to maintain my composure. Before going to the police, I felt I needed to gather concrete evidence against Alexander and Susan. I decided to hire a private investigator to look into their activities. I knew I had to do whatever necessary to protect my daughter and myself. Thinking there might be more of those small bottles in the house, I began a thorough search. Late at night, after Lucy had fallen asleep, I searched every corner of the house. After checking the kitchen cabinets, refrigerator, and even Lucy's room thoroughly, I found nothing. Just as fatigue was setting in, I had a thought to check Lucy's toy box. There, I discovered several empty medication containers. The containers had labels for sleeping pills and anti-anxiety medications. I was shocked to my core. "Alexander, what on earth is he thinking?" I whispered to myself as I held the containers, determined to confront him. The next day, after dropping Lucy off at preschool, I called Alexander. Alexander, we need to talk. Can you meet me right now? Aaron. What's this about? Alexander sounded surprised, but I firmly stated, I want to meet now, and hung up. We agreed to meet at a nearby cafe. I tucked the empty containers I'd found in Lucy's room into my bag and took a deep breath to calm myself. When I entered the cafe, Alexander was already seated. I sat across from him and placed the containers on the table. Do you know what these are? I asked calmly. Alexander showed a momentary look of surprise but quickly regained his composure and replied, What about them? Lucy was using these to mix something into my dinner. She said you told her to do it, I questioned, containing my anger. What are you talking about, Aaron? I would never do such a thing. Alexander completely denied it, but I held his gaze. I've sent this for testing. When the results come back, we'll know the truth. At my words, Alexander was momentarily speechless but then said, Do whatever you want, and left. Back home, I immediately contacted Connor, the private investigator. He was experienced and had solved many complex cases. Connor, I need your help. I think my ex-husband is plotting something. Connor listened calmly and said, I understand. I'll start investigating his activities. Meanwhile, gather as much evidence as you can. I placed my trust in him and left the investigation in his hands. A few days later, Connor's report arrived. He had discovered that Alexander and Susan were meeting frequently, and Alexander had been making multiple visits to pharmacies. He also obtained recordings of their phone conversations. In one conversation, Alexander said, If the plan works, Erin will have no choice but to quit her job. Listening to the recording, I felt both anger and sadness well up inside me. So he was doing this to corner me. I couldn't stop my tears. Connor continued his investigation and ultimately uncovered that Alexander and Susan had been planning to force me back into being a full-time housewife. They had been trying to deteriorate my work performance to the point where I would have no choice but to quit. Aaron, here's the evidence. Your ex-husband and his mother were systematically trying to trap you, Connor said as he handed me the evidence. Thank you, Connor. Now I finally know the truth, I expressed my gratitude to him. Afterward, I immediately consulted with the police. I submitted all the evidence I had and explained Alexander and Susan's plan to them. After the meeting at the police station, I returned home to greet Lucy. I needed to embrace her as if nothing had happened, to reassure her. Though my heart was turbulent with anxiety and anger, I didn't want to show her even a hint of it. The next morning, I met with Mary, my lawyer who had helped me during the divorce. I trusted she would give appropriate advice for this situation as well. Aaron, this isn't a simple situation. But the evidence you've gathered is very compelling. Her words gave me a glimmer of hope. Mary, I just want to protect Lucy. Her safety is my top priority, my voice trembled. I understand, Aaron. We'll do everything we can to protect you and Lucy. Mary's words provided some comfort. The police began investigating Alexander and Susan. Their actions and phone records were scrutinized, further substantiating the evidence I had provided. It became clear that Alexander and Susan had plotted to drug my food, using Lucy as their unwitting accomplice. One day, the police contacted me, and an investigator visited us. "Miss Erin, we've confirmed Alexander and Susan's involvement. They were acting with intent to harm you. However, this wasn't the end. Although Alexander and Susan were arrested, we needed to prove their guilt in court. Mary and I organized the evidence and prepared for trial. When the trial began, Alexander's lawyer claimed his innocence. This is a misunderstanding. Alexander only wanted to help Erin." Those words rang hollow to me. Though nervous, I was determined to tell the truth. One day, I witnessed my daughter mixing liquid into my food. She said she was following instructions from my ex-husband. During my testimony, I fought back tears several times. The recordings, videos, and medication containers that Mary submitted as evidence proved decisive. Connor's investigation report also detailed their plan thoroughly. As the trial progressed, Alexander and Susan's plan gradually came to light. They had plotted to harm my health to interfere with my career and force me to become a housewife. The atmosphere in the courtroom gradually turned against them. "Defendants Alexander and Susan, you deliberately attempted to harm Erin's health and interfere with her career. This act is extremely malicious, and I find you guilty." The judge's voice resonated through the courtroom. In that moment, I felt a great weight lift from my heart. Alexander protested violently, shouting, "These are all Erin's lies," but his voice fell on deaf ears in the courtroom. Susan wept, mumbling, "I just wanted to help my son." But her words too rang hollow. After the verdict was delivered, I met Connor outside the courtroom. "Erin, you did well. Lucy is safe now." I took a deep breath at his words. "Thank you so much, Connor. I couldn't have made it this far without you." I expressed my gratitude to him. Afterward, I decided to move to Boston with my daughter to start a new life. I thought starting fresh in a new environment would be the best choice for us. As our new life in Boston began, we quickly adapted to the environment. Our new home was spacious, and Lucy had her own room. Lying in bed, all our past difficulties felt like distant memories. The next morning, Lucy bounced into my bed with a big smile. "Mommy, I love our new house. I'm going to make lots of friends here." Seeing her innocent smile filled me with new hope. After settling in from the move, I started work at a new advertising agency. Though nervous on my first day, I was quickly put at ease by my colleagues' warm welcome. My boss Catherine was experienced and very reliable. "Erin, let's create wonderful projects together using your experience." Her words heightened my enthusiasm for new challenges. Lucy also started at her new preschool. Though a bit anxious on her first day, she had completely bounced back by the time she returned home. "Mommy, I made a new friend." We drew pictures together. Lucy's eyes were sparkling. "Really? What kind of friend?" I asked happily. She's very kind and good at drawing. I want you to meet her someday." Lucy's face was beaming with smiles. Seeing Lucy's smile made me feel that all our past struggles had been worthwhile. I felt that I had been able to build a new life for her sake and my own. Our daily routine gradually stabilized. On weekdays, I would drop Lucy off at preschool before heading to work. Weekends became our special time for visiting parks and museums, making every day enjoyable. One day, Lucy suddenly said, "Mommy, I'm so glad we moved here." "Yes, Lucy. I'm truly happy we could start a new life here," I answered while hugging her. Work at my new workplace was going well, and I was soon entrusted with several important projects. In particular, an advertising campaign for a major client was very successful, earning high praise from my boss, Catherine. "Erin, your leadership is truly outstanding. Keep up the good work." One day when I returned from work, Lucy ran up to me. "Mommy, I wrote an essay about my mother at preschool today. The teacher really praised it." "Really? Can you tell me what you wrote?" I asked with curiosity. "Yes, I wrote about how strong and wonderful you are. I wrote that you're my hero." Lucy's words made my heart swell. "Thank you, Lucy. You're the reason I can keep going." As I hugged her, I felt that all our struggles had been worth it. The next day, Lucy was drawing in the living room. "Mommy, look." She showed me her picture, which was very colorful and depicted us playing together. "It's a beautiful drawing, Lucy. You really have talent." I praised her artwork while feeling joy in her growth. I also began volunteering at a nonprofit organization supporting working single mothers. Through my own experiences, supporting women in similar situations became my new mission. Every weekend, I attended the organization's meetings, listening to women's stories and helping them solve their problems. "Miss Erin, your story really encouraged me," one woman said with tears in her eyes. Her words deeply moved me. Lucy also became interested in my activities, saying, "Mommy, I want to volunteer too." One day, we organized an event for mothers, and Lucy helped look after the children. She naturally showed leadership while playing with the other kids. "Mommy, today's event was so much fun. I want to do it again." Seeing Lucy's smile, I realized how much she had grown. The bond between us mother and daughter deepened, and we built a relationship of mutual support in our daily lives. Lucy enjoyed her preschool life with new friends, while I found fulfillment through work and volunteer activities, meeting many people. Then, new challenges and joys came into our lives. One day, I was assigned a major project at work. I decided to give it my all and worked on it with my team. After overcoming many difficulties, the project was a great success. "Erin, you did an amazing job. This project succeeded thanks to your effort and leadership." Catherine looked at me proudly as she said this. That night, while having dinner with Lucy, I shared this joy with her. "Lucy, today was a really wonderful day. Mommy's project was successful." "That's amazing, Mommy. Congratulations." Lucy couldn't hide her joy and hugged me. While we enjoyed our new life, we never forgot our past experiences. They had made us stronger and given us the strength to live positively. I vowed to continue sharing many challenges and joys with Lucy. Later, I developed even bigger goals. I decided to join a movement advocating for legal reforms to protect working mothers' rights. Our activities gradually gained attention and many supporters. We're so grateful for your activities. Thanks to you, many mothers have been saved, one supporter told me. Eventually, our movement succeeded, and legal reforms were achieved. Working mothers' rights were protected, and an environment where they could work with peace of mind was established. I felt proud of these achievements and vowed to continue supporting many people. Lucy also continued pursuing her dreams. She developed an interest in art and joined an art club. Her work gradually gained attention, and she even won an award at an exhibition. "Mommy, look! My painting won an award." Lucy's eyes were shining. "That's wonderful, Lucy. I'm so proud of your talent." I hugged her, rejoicing in her growth. The bond between us grew stronger than ever as we built our new life together, supporting each other. Having overcome past difficulties made us stronger and more positive about life. 12 years have passed. Lucy and I have built a fulfilling life in Boston, meeting many people and gathering various experiences. Lucy is now in high school, steadily working toward her dreams. Her goal is to attend art school and build a career as an artist. "Mom, would you look at my portfolio?" One evening, Lucy called out from her room. Her work had become more refined each year. As I carefully looked through each piece in her portfolio, I could sense her growth. "These are wonderful, Lucy. Your work really shows your heart and soul." I smiled at her. "Thanks, Mom." "It's all thanks to you," Lucy smiled shyly. Mother's Day had become our traditional event day. This event supporting working mothers grew larger each year, attracting many participants. That day too, the venue was filled with the smiles of participating mothers and children. "Erin, thank you for another wonderful event this year," one participant called out to me. "Thank you all. This event continues because of everyone's support," I replied with gratitude. At the end of the event, Lucy's specially prepared artwork was displayed. Her painting depicted working mothers, expressing both strength and gentleness. Many mothers were moved to tears when they saw it. "Lucy, this painting is truly beautiful. We're all deeply moved by how you've captured the essence of motherhood," one mother expressed her gratitude to Lucy. "Thank you. I wanted to show how strong and wonderful my mother is, and all mothers are." Lucy's words warmed my heart. Though we've overcome many challenges, those experiences have strengthened us and given us the courage to face new challenges. Watching Lucy pursue her dreams, I felt proud of how much she had grown. One day, while having dinner together, Lucy suddenly said, "Mom, I want to continue supporting working mothers in the future too. Seeing what you've done inspired me to help others." "That's wonderful, Lucy. I know you'll be able to help many people," I replied, deeply moved. Our bond is stronger than ever, and I believe it will continue to grow. Having overcome past difficulties, we now look toward a new future. Eventually, Lucy was accepted into art school, taking her first step toward her new journey. Her dreams were becoming more real, and I found joy in watching her progress. "Mom, let's keep working hard together," Lucy said with a smile. "Of course, Lucy. Being by your side is my happiness," I promised as I hugged her, vowing to continue walking this path together. Our story continues. New challenges and joys await us, and we believe we'll overcome them and continue growing together. I look forward to the days ahead, walking alongside Lucy. After all, the bond between mother and daughter has the strength to overcome any difficulty.